When you're gifted, you wake up in the morning, you need to say thank you, Allah. It is not the right of any one of us. It is the blessing of Allah and the mercy that make us to be where we are today. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the program Issues of Today right here on Voice of Liberia. And it feels good entering the new year and broadcasting to you this evening on 104.1. My name is Sekou Sharif. Be the best you think you can be. Live the rest of your life. The fear of poverty is the beginning of education, determination, and hard work. No matter the situation, no matter the challenges, keep focused. Be determined and know what you want to achieve in life. There will be a time that people will look down on you because of some reasons, and you need to stand your ground and be the best you can be. Live the rest of your life. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the program Issues of Today right here on Voice of Liberia 104.1. It feels good to return on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday in Monrovia. What is a pleasant way to say thank you, Allah. We are back to do the people's job, and there's nothing more we can do than this. This is what we do for our country. This is what we continue to do always. But we are back again today on the show, providing you Liberians the opportunity so you can speak about the issues that matter, and also bringing those of the people that are responsible to speak on critical national issues in our country, to have them to speak about the issues you want to hear, talk about the issues. And so too many things. We've entered New Year. We've entered the new year. There are a lot of things happening from 2022. There are too many persons who are talking about 2023. Now we in 2023. Nothing else we're going to be talking. Most of the things going to be happening. Most of the things people are going to be talking about now. We're talking about politics. Mind you, the youth wing of the Coalition for Democratic Change had a citizen engagement that was over the weekend in West Point, where you had the newly elected officials of the youth wing of CDC. They made some statements over the weekend. And so there have been these cross reactions about what they've said concerning the CDC would not accept any second round. All they're thinking or they expect is just a first one victory. Political pundits will think that maybe the CDC is offered something different, or what are they thinking about? What are their preparations? What are the indicators? Why are they saying what they're saying? And so you see that. So we will have some of the folks from the Congress of Democratic Change here this evening on the program. They will shortly join us. And also that discussion will take us up to 8 o'clock tonight. Following that issue at 8, we take a break to return. We'll play host to Montserrat County hopeful in person of Wilma Pay. Wilma Pay has been petitioned by citizens of Montserrat County to contest for the senatorial seat in Montserrat County. And so he's going to be contesting. And so we've invited him to talk more. He's going to come to tell us about more of his engagements, what sets him apart from the other folks. I'm going to ask all of the necessary questions as well. My U 2023, we already into the electionary year. There will be a lot of political statements. There will be a lot of, political engagements from the politicians. And you citizens, you just need to relax and hear them speak out what they think they can do. It is up to you to accept what they're going to be saying or to reject what they're going to be saying. And before that time, On today, one of our sister programs, Citizen Voices, we went to Penham Building where we were able to speak with disadvantaged youths, and one of which are captured from our engagements today. It is clear that the disadvantaged youths, they are unhappy of their current situation. They are willing to leave from where they are, but all they need is help either from the government or from other institutions to have a rehabilitation center for them. And so on today, they call on the government and well-meaning humanitarian organizations in the country to see the need uh, to have a rehabilitation area for them. And today we've gained interest in their ordeals. We're gonna play you some of what they said, and you're gonna listen to them. Because of the engagements today, we will continue the series about Aminata Bangura, the head of CTN or Global Tracking the Maritime Solution, on tomorrow. We're in the new year, and we promise you it is the new year. We're going to play recordings about Aminata Bangura. And let me say this. Bulk of you in government are misusing the little opportunities you've got. And interestingly, you were seeking your interest at the detriment of the Liberian people. Emmanuel Nukwe, who's been caught for power theft. Let me tell you something. And the LEC is becoming very unserious as to how they address issues. What I've noticed in Liberia is this, folks. Only the common people are put to a point to be disgraced. Then those of the people that call themselves big names. Emmanuel Nukwe of recent was being caught, one of his buildings or whatsoever, property owned by him, was involved into power theft. And you have the LEC, they came up, it was clear, they billed the man, they asked the man to pay, then they coming back again to sugarcoat issue as if to say Emmanuel Nukwe, it was not involved into power theft. And someone say, oh, it is not. You listen. It is the home of Emmanuel Nukwe. Anything that happens there, he takes the blame. And he's the one. And it is the same Emmanuel Nukwe that is, quote unquote, supporting Aminata Bangura to continue some of the things she's doing in Liberia. But like I said, because we have too many things, and let me just tell you, Thomas Falatu was involved into power theft. I will tell you the story. And I have the video. So big shots are involved into power theft. This is what happened. The University of Thomas Fala and some of the buildings were involved into power theft. And so when the lady in question, Mayor Braw, what's happening? When Mayor Braw visited the area, a lot of things can happen in Liberia. Mayor Braw called Thomas Fala over and again. He did not answer. Mayor Braw too, what did she do? She went ahead and called the chairman of CDC, Moba Malou, telling him to tell Thomas Fala to pay the money or else his name will be put in the public 5,000. Oh God. The big names are involved into the anchor is a power theft. They involved into stealing current. Common people like us that are struggling to make it, we can pay for current, but the big names are stealing current. the big names are still in current. So Thomas Fala's story will come up tomorrow. I will tell you about how it happened, what Mary Broad did, who she called, how much Thomas Fala paid, how many of the buildings were involved into power theft. Yes, Thomas Fala, a lawmaker, but he's involved into power theft. Nukwe, a lawmaker, senator, but he's involved into power theft. So what the common people will do? Okay, let's listen to some of the ordeals of the less privileged Liberians and their calls they're making to the central government and other humanitarian institutions in the country.
Nobody, Mama Blanche, young. Nobody do him in an penny. If I suffer, and you go chant here with me, I eat. Yeah, me and my poor boyfriend.
Well, your boyfriend? Okay. So, how is living condition here? What you want to say to the government and those of the people listening to you now on the radio? Were you, in fact, before we go to that, were you part of the people that went to start chunking, looting people's place?
And I went there. But you coming on my way, the iron took on my car.
That's in there?
The iron took on my car, and I want people to help me to move when they left. I tell you, Nana, I get 2-year-old boy, and Nana will be for me. See the plan in the land. If one is so, I won't move when they left. I Nana praying. Not Mama living all the way.
Rehabilitation center now. You willing to go?
Yes, I'm willing. I'm willing to go. Because the condition and see the plan and nobody feeling me. Before I get food, I go. Before I get money, I go for the street to suffer to eat.
How much do you charge people to have exchange of sex?
200 what?
For 1 round or 2 rounds?
200 what? They buy bully and there.
What have you to say? Your story is catching. What have you to say to the president? Maybe he's listening to you. He's watching this live. Or maybe you want to talk to Finna Bondo. Or you want to talk to the mayor of Monrovia, Jefferson Koji. Other people like the finance minister. People listening to you. Or humanitarian institutions. What have you to say as a female to them? I can't lie to you before.
When I can take picture, everything is everything carry it. So over can carry to real all. Carry all. They can't again bring nothing. They can't take photos. Say I step they carry it. So now we're going to push more. Vote me my house so far. I will look and say them money there because nobody there helping her.
Thank you very much, yeah.
All right.
We hope and pray that your issue can be looked at, yeah.
When they left, I tired.
Thank you. For your day, you're listening to the program Citizen Voices, coming to you live from
Yeah, so it's a job.
Okay, my man. How's life with you here?
Well, life is easy and life is not fun, but to God be the glory. Other is gone, but one I'm come to among the living. I'm happy of that.
You're happy of that?
Yeah.
I mean, recently they said you people took onto the streets, you were looting people's shops, people market areas, and you took the laws into your hands. Did you form part of such process?
No. I was not part of such process. First, what I would say, sorry to the victims of what went on. Yeah, but the information that our friends gathered, it was very, very prohibited in the sense that you cannot listen to DC and just act on DC. It was very, very wrong for what happened. But for what happened that day, you know, for the past time, when this government came into being, okay, it was a day that President Weah decided to give us a 26 package, which was that day they will share 5,000 on the youth of Maserati.
5,000 USD or LD?
5,000 LD.
On each person or all the group?
On each person. That day it was 26 package. Yeah, for 2021. At the time we were in 2021. Yeah, so That day, after that happened, people got angry, people started to say such things, and then everything went down cool. But for what happened this gone December, I don't know where my friends and sisters took that information from.
You look much more decent.
Yeah.
What happened today?
No, the decency you see have been a year or 1 year, 5 months now.
Well, there were times, you know, it used to be like this, oh.
Yeah, for sure.
So you into rehabilitation area?
Actually, I ain't go through rehabilitation process. I was taken to a prison, to Central, for 14 days. And then when I left, I came out because when I was there, my dad died behind me. Yeah, my father passed away. So when I came out without grudge. So I decided to quit this life. But yeah, I've been 1 year, 5 months now.
You've not put in drugs in your mouth?
Yeah, for sure.
You sure?
For sure.
Well, you stay around the place. You don't think you could be tempted?
Actually, temptation has passed my way. Yeah, I can say because I have that confidence and faith in God because it was not done by me. It was done by the Almighty of the Almighty God. I know.
Well, first of all, what got you into this drugs taking before you decided to leave it because of what happened to your father?
I got into this life 2010 when I traveled from high school. I was attending Elizabeth Crawford Memorial High School. Yeah, I got into a crew called Beantown Record. Yeah, up Crown Hill. Yeah, after the crew dissolved, because when we were in the crew, we used to smoke grass, local grass. Yeah, but after the crew dissolved, we left Crown Hill and went down Slipway to where people smoke drugs. Yeah, so that's how I got into that life. But actually, I can say, thanks to the Almighty God, today I'm alive. After all those years, I passed through some difficulties, but today I can see myself still looking good. I can even tell people that I ain't put drugs in my mouth, they'll believe it. Yeah, I give praise to the Almighty God.
So what you want to say to your colleagues that are staying in the habit, they are struggling to let go of the habit, what did you do that led you to leave this? Is it something that you took a bold step, or you say you pray, or what did you do so that your colleagues here listening to you and those other people listening to the radio will also learn from what you're going to be saying?
Actually, life is various, They got different kinds of humor. Some people do things because of XYZ. Yeah, as for me, I did it because all those years that I was living with my father, I left him for all those years I was on the street. I didn't see him. Yeah, and he passed away today. Yeah, so
you need to share that. You think it is because of you that he passed away because of the way you live life, seeing your son in such a condition is nothing that could please any parent.
Actually, I can say yes, and I can say no because I was not in his height,
For him. Thinking about you.
Yeah. He always
Liberians. People usually call them Zogos, but I think I love calling them, disadvantaged youth, instead of us calling them Zogos. But their stories were touching. I got to understand today, folks, that bulk of them are willing to leave the street, but all the need is to give them rehabilitation area. All of those of the people we interviewed today, they said they want to leave from where they are. They're calling on the government. They're calling on those of the people to see reason to get a rehabilitation area. And they said even today you want to take them off the streets, they're willing. And they distance themselves from the action that took place in Monrovia of recent, where they say close to other areas now. Less privileged folks took to the streets of Monrovia to cause chaos, good people areas, and do all sorts of things, by the way. So they said they were not part of it, and they condemn it. They think that it is not, it was not necessary to have carried out such an action by those of the people that carried out that action. And they're calling on the government, they're calling on the president, calling on those of the people in authority to see reason that, to have a rehabilitation. I don't know how much it will cost the government to have a rehabilitation center for those disadvantaged youth. Uh, I think I remember the launch a program for them. I don't know how far they've gone with it. But sometimes too, these things are just being done politically. There's the way we in electionary year, the government or the opposition or whosoever will come again and make all the political statements and make all the promises. At the end of the day, nothing will happen about said promises and nothing will happen about what they should do. Let's take few calls about this. What do you make of the less privileged, the disadvantaged youth, their calls to the government and humanitarian organizations, other institutions in Liberia, individuals, to have a rehabilitation home for them because they are fed up with the condition. You listen to that other lady where she said usually men use her, just to survive. She has a mother in Mangibi, Habel area, and their stories were touching. 0770-907-907-08880-907-907. Our two guests on the very first segment is um, Minister Avin C. Wisse, but for the party, he's the vice chairman for operations. And you have Hassan Newland. He's the national secretary general of the Youth League. Both of them, they've come from the Youth League of the Congress of Democratic Change, the CDC. And they're going to be my guests here shortly on the program. 0770-907-907-08880-907-907. What are your thoughts about what the less privileged Liberians were saying? We usually call them Zogos. Good evening. Let me take this person. Good
Hello?
evening. Yes, good evening.
Yeah, you come now, brother.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, the point of that is that this is what we do pull out. They are then they are liars. They said they're going to build a rehabilitation center for the disadvantaged. They never did it. They put it there and they are disappointed those men. So we got to appeal to the government to see how they can cater to the needs of the disadvantaged youth.
Okay. Thank you. This person. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
I'm Nicholas Parker.
Let's hear you, my brother. What do you make of the less privileged Liberians, disadvantaged youth?
I read their condition. I read honestly their testimony. I was once upon a drug alley. I was doing drugs. So I was rehab picture of the next home. In Commandant there, the super there, the rehabilitated. So I want to ask all of the government officials, even all of the districts that big rehab for those guys, they are willing. After when I was doing jail, I was willing, but there was no one to take me all of the streets. And my father came and took me to the rehab home. And I got your son. Up to now, I don't do drugs. I'm not easy to see drugs taker. So I want to appreciate you for a program. Don't ask the government, let it be rehab home all over for this unfortunate youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This person. Hello.
Yeah. Well,
Good evening. Let's hear you.
let's keep moving to about from Lower Virginia.
Let's hear you, brother.
Yeah, really white people I think will be the best thing. They are not really vocal. When you look at some of them, the way they were speaking, they really want to live on the street. But when somebody have been frustrated from New York State, so very what people are saying are the best thing. About all these representatives coming from their district, they be able to cover the bridge. They don't have money, they get able to pay a consumer tax, they be able to put the guys there, so that somebody can be able to learn. Even if they're not all there, but the free that will come when the free that Senate progressing, I think they'll be able to pay that too. Because some of them actually have no some of them, they have to work in school together. You see, but when I see that, I can be very inspired to see them. So I think it will be the best thing for the government to come in and pay somewhere and put the guys there, so I think they can be able to learn how to do capital, make sure even to call here, they will be all for them, they will get able to sleep out here around doing nothing. And so they get a drug free that is complex. I want the problem again. It's very simple and said that it's want to see every buy
Okay, thank you. Let me take another person here. Hello.
Hello, my name is Maya Koti. I joined from Brooklyn.
Okay, go ahead, Elijah. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to make a correction to your first caller.
My man, don't make correction to people.
All right,
Make your
straight to the
point.
point.
How you coming make correction at the same
Someone putting $300 serious about the governor last road generated form.
Also,
But
Darren
they
not part of the
have a
government.
problem. But no, he tried his best. He
Darren
have
not part of the
a
government.
he have a system. But the government raised form, they raised a form.
So what the
And we
center
know
has
what that
done?
money go.
What the center has done?
I think
My man, let me tell you something. You gotta just stop defending people when it is not defendable. See that thing there? The men say they want the people saying it. They say, hello. The man say he could do it. You listening to the people? Let me take 2 more calls. I have my guest already. Good evening.
Oh,
Yeah, good evening. Let's hear you.
yeah, my name is Victor, and I'm joining you from Canada County.
Grand Cape Mount. Let's hear you from Grand Cape Mount.
Oh, my brother, what you guys are saying is big the government need to see some serious, or government need to see this problem seriously. Because it's causing the country, the whole country, no free movement, and so the government needs to pay serious attention to this situation and where the guys are coming over to find solution to their problem.
Oh yeah.
Because it's causing serious problem in the
Election coming, like we're gonna have surely the politicians, then they'll make all the baby promises.
Yeah, so no free movement in the city. That was a bigger problem that there because of the guys. So
No,
government needs to see about it.
let me tell you something. The very guys are willing to leave the street. You listen to what they said, they call on the government and all relevant institutions to have them rehabilitation centers so that they can leave the street.
Yeah, so I'm saying the government is see immediately.
Okay, thank you. Let me take the last person. I have my guest already. Hello. Let me take the last call. Where should I take the calls from? This. Okay. Hello.
Yeah. How are you?
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Emmanuel. Join the conversation for Carwell.
Emmanuel, let's hear you.
And anytime I hear about it, just stop. It really pain my heart because look, most of our Google friends when you go Global, most of our Google friends they think I can short them. The only thing we can do to keep encouraging the government to see how we can try to get somebody down to off the street. Okay. This is not time for us to even share blame because
no blame.
Yes, our brother and our sisters they are sporting on a daily basis. Thank you, Tiku.
Thank you very much. I beg you, you'll hold the calls. I just wanted to get a few calls about this thing. It's not a mean thing we're talking there. With a mean thing here, we're gonna talk, but trust me, we will flag this issue over and again, and we think the government should see reason. You know, it should not be business as usual to see reason. You know, to have a place. I was asking someone as to how much will it cost the government to have a rehabilitation center that will take, that will cater to maybe 1,000 persons. Because definitely you won't have all the guys, taken immediately. Maybe you get the very first 500 persons, you carry them for like 2-3 months, you do the entire process, and just like that, from what I heard from the folks, they are willing. They are willing 100% too. So, like we announced, our 2 distinct guests, they're here this evening. You have in this interview, we're going to refer to him as the Vice Chair for Operations. He's not, I'm not sure he's going to speak in his capacity as minister today. And also, we have Arvin C. Wisse, who's the Vice Chair for Operations from the Youth League of CDC. We have Hassan Newland. I know you've been to Linterland before. He's the National Secretary General of the Youth League. The both of them, they've joined us tonight so we can talk more on national issues, looking at the political institutions, some other issues. Let me say good evening to you, Avin Wuse. It is the very first time, and I want to apologize to you on the radio. A very good friend of mine who've come a long way, not inviting you ever since. How you doing?
Well, I thank you, Seko. Let me accept the apologies, and I quickly register the tremendous effort being applied when it comes to extending your media tentacles with kind of more vibrant team I'm seeing here with the solid infrastructure. It's a remarkable and indelible imprint that young people who are seeing reason to do individual growth can be able to emanate your examples. Let me appreciate you in the management and all of your workers and comrades here is a very good thing to say thank you so much for your little space the contribution you make in the Liberian society with respect to your work you do doing the microphone. I want to bring you greetings from the man who presides over the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Mali Coalition for Democratic Change, Comrade in Arms, Immanuel Mobile Johnson, and also to the National Executive Committee of the Youth League of our party, and to all of our partisans ranging from the chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change, Dr. Chairman Molubat Kenbolu Jr., the standard brother of our party, and to where we just sympathizers and political paratroopers and foot soldiers of our noble institution.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me say good evening to you, Hassan. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, and trust me, today I'm making my debut appearance in your studio. I'm extremely impressed.
Okay.
We have a society where almost all of the young people want to work in government. I think you have stood up as an example of what young people can be or what young people can do without working in the government. And I was in the Ivory Coast the other day when I was following your show, and I was like, wow, this guy is strong, he's brave. But when they say young people can lead, I think you've given a new definition of it. Leading is not, you can be minister. You're supposed to be having, we say, a minister of agriculture. You're supposed to be me, but you can be Sheikh Sharif. Leading in a sector where you can provide needed information to our people so that we can sharpen how our people think, see how we can grow the democracy and how we can push the country forward. Thank you, Sekou. I appreciate it.
Okay, let me say thank you to you guys too. We committed and we hope to continue and all of that. But how's the youth wing of CDC? Recently, you people had a convention. Is it a new position you were elected to, or is a position that you continue to serve as chairman for operations, vice chair for operations?
Well, thank you. The CDC Youth League, in the context of our national democracy, has redefined the political dynamics of our body politics. If you first of all, let me register and establish on this point. If you look across political parties in Liberia, one of the challenges and problems that political party has been able to face and encounter over the period of time, many years back, even currently in this new fresh euphoria of our political dispensation, has always been the challenge about giving young people the platform, the challenge about giving young people the space to add their voices, making them active players and effective participants in driving the democracy that we all envisage on a reference trajectory. So, for example, if you go into the ANC, you cannot find a vibrant youth league because the young people do not have the voice. So it is with the Liberty Party. It is with the United Party.
We haven't reached to all of that. My question to you is:
so I'm trying to provide a foundational.
But you won't start going to other people.
So
speak about yours first.
Yes. So I'm trying to give a foundational analytical basis that give us the impetus why we are the youth league and what we are currently. So, given the circumstances involving the CDC Youth League, as a matter of fact, the CDC is the biggest grassroots mass-based political institution in the country. And so we respect young people. The CDC respects, the opinions and decision-making processes of young people. On the basis of that, the Youth League has been that component, that driving force, the fulcrum, the engine, the trailblazer and forerunner of the CDC and the mover, actor, and shaker of the CDC politics in terms of how we get involved in terms of our participation. So, shortly, we gone into an internal democratic process, very competitive and tense, where we experience a transitional process. And the chairman emeritus of the Youth League, you know that historically Jefferson Tamakoji was the chairman emeritus. I mean, served as chairman emeritus of the Youth League, and later on he has to transition to another position as secretary at the National Executive Committee level and the Governing Council of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Now, based on the internal democratic processes, new school of officers and officials have been given opportunity to contest and compete in with their revolutionary counterparts in the Youth League. And so I was serving as I was elected before as spokespresident of the Youth League, and now I've transcended and excelled to the position of vice chair for operations at the level of the Revolutionary National Youth League.
This is what some of your partisans were saying, that the just ended convention was marked by irregularities. People were not given the time. The normal procedures were not followed. One time, you people just decided, came up with a convention. The usual procedure, like you have announcements, you have some other information out to people as to get them prepared. Some of these things were not done. That's the reason why some of these people got elected. But transparently, you cannot win elections within the Youth League, particularly vice chair for operations.
I knew Sekou you were about to go controversial because these are, but to be told here, I don't want to just beat, because in the CDC it is not about your ambition, it is not about your glamorous academic credentials or accolades that you carry to the Youth League. People get elected in the CDC, particularly in the Youth League, based on your service to the institution and how best you've been able to render your political activities in the hands of the party. When the party gets the understanding that you have the ideological construct and the political inclination to lead, the partisans themselves can petition you. The partisans themselves.
So when you
petition, re-examine your character, re-examine. Petition in the sense that young people who are supposed to make decision can vote you on the basis of your credential, on the basis of your work, on the basis of your service to the institution. So I've been privileged and given an opportunity. And let me give one revolutionary salute to all of these young people who gave us the opportunity, to serve what we've come today as vice chair for operation at the level of the Revolutionary National Youth League.
Okay, let me go to Hassan. Hassan, what have you to say concerning the feelings of some of your partisans that the process did not go well and you people were handpicked?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say again, Sekou, thank you for having us here. This is the politics of our today, but inside the CDC, I can say to you that politics is being remodeled, politics is being restructured, and the young people are being presented the platform to showcase what they are capable of, and to tell the Liberian people that the category or the list of politicians we are dealing with today will fade away, and there will be young people, capable, qualified, ready to run the show after those people shall feel faded. But inside the CDC, I can tell you that our process is very competitive and transparent. And this is politics. There will never be a political process without dissatisfaction. But I can tell you that all of us had the equal spaces. Inside the CDC, it's not about what you can brag of. It's about what your colleagues think you can keep it, where your colleagues think you can keep it safe. And so I had to go elected, and I got elected in a very competitive process. And let me tell you, in the CDC, except for those who don't understand the workings and the structures of the CDC, in the space and time where you think that you were politically cheated or you did not get presented the referral platform to practice your politics or compete on a basis of equality, then there's a committee called the Grievance Ethics Committee in our party. You can report these cases. I come in Sekou.
No, let me ask you this question.
Sekou, let me conclude on this point.
No, you
this case.
Let me ask you
your
this question.
Case
Hassan, did you people follow the normal procedure?
All of the
so how many radio stations air or newspapers that carried your convention?
Sekou, let me tell you historically, there is no political party in Liberia whose conventional or electoral processes, internal electoral processes, has been as transparent as this. From concocting about processes.
I'm not asking about that. What I'm asking you, how many newspapers or media institutions that carry your information? Because one of the laws or some of the things that you should have done, inform the public maybe a week have an announcement out, publications about the
Well,
convention.
so Sekou, I don't know I don't know where
Is
you're
it-
collecting these laws from, but
Is
I
that,
know.
is that something
No,
part
I
of
don't know
what
where you
you
are
do?
collecting these
It is
laws
not
from,
something part of what
but
you
I
do.
know. Listen, Sekou, I don't know where you are collecting these laws from, but I know that we are under obligation as a political party to ensure the publication of our conventional activity.
Did you do it?
And these
Did
activities
you
will
do it?
follow to the very last letter.
Which newspaper?
So
No, listen.
no,
Which
so
newspaper?
Sekou,
The last time I checked, you did not do it.
no, say we're not doing your station.
Okay, you want to?
So we're not doing
Okay,
your
you call
station.
the news.
So
call the news
it's your
editor.
job,
No,
Sekou.
no, you
So
the
Sekou,
secretary
it's your
general.
job.
No,
So
we will
Sekou,
move. Listen,
it's your job.
you
It's your
listen.
job. No, I was the
I
secretary general. I was a contestant.
Listen
It
now.
was not my job to go and publicize.
And no, it is
Titi
not.
Swen was
Listen.
on the committee. Alexander City was on the committee. You need to go and face our party.
So that process, it was marked by fraud.
No, it wasn't. And Sekou, Sekou, we have to show respect.
Why?
You have to show respect.
When it is what
So
you
how
said,
we conduct ourselves in the CDC, unlike other political parties. Before they even find a candidate to go to election, they just write you a simple friendly letter and they throw you and say, CDC gives the space to even cast your ballot to elect your leaders. So, Sekou, on a very fair scale, I can tell you, young people participated. This is politics. All of us will be happy the same way.
Okay.
But the competition is the competition. The party is quiet and we are ready for 2020.
Okay, we're in 2023. I mean, let me come to you. What is it for the young people? Let us start on this note. We've been talking about 2023. Many persons will say we're waiting to see the change in 2023. And particularly, we talk about the young people, and you people are governing the young people with one of Liberia's largest political institutions. What is it out there for seditions? You are the leaders. What are the thoughts, ideas that have been put together to address some of the things of the young people?
Well, thank you. The first thing we should give you a clear perspective about the current position of the Revolutionary National Unity of the Indomitable Mali Congress for Democratic Change, by extension, the Coalition for Democratic Change. You know very well that there was a transition, and then in recent times, I mean, a few days ago, we managed to have honor an invitation at the level of the Financial Post Intellectual Center in
West Point.
the densely populated.
I was there.
Yes, so we provided a clear perspective about moving forward. We gave a position about the young people. We talked about issues about agriculture. We said that other line ministries of agencies, people who are going counterclockwise, doing inside political trading, going against counter.
I mean, that is
let-
quite different.
let me-
We're going to reach to that. No, sorry, I beg you, please. I'm asking you people have taken over. Now, before you took over, there were plans you have for the young people. Now, when you go to these kinds of elections, you say, if we are elected, we will do this, this is what we want to do. This is so. Are you saying that by making the threatening remarks on those of the people in government you perceived not to be doing right things, is it one of their plans? Or what are the plans you have for the young people and how you intended to move the youth wing of CDC?
So what you need to get or Sekou is that the youth league is the conscious spirit of the party. That provides ideological defense and political awareness for the government to move on a smooth trajectory in terms of safely delivering its policies driving towards implementation. The youth league does not have a platform that runs contrapositive to what the government runs. But what we do is to apply maximum political vigilance to ensure that implementation of these platforms are geared towards the interests of the young people. And if that is being reneged upon, it becomes the inherent obligation, the monumental responsibility of the youth league to raise the flag and provide recommendation for follow adherence to such policies or implementation that provide holistic transformation of the young people in this country. So with this understanding, we say to you that the CDC Youth League has been able over the period of time. You saw what happened when, I mean, of course, there were issues of race crisis in the country, right, which affected our people generally. It took the revolutionary tenacity of the CDC Youth League to say that it was not fair enough for us to do celebration when people, until we can make some interventions to ameliorate the crisis containing rights issues, and that was listened to here too. We saw other government officials going counterclockwise to the UV, to the government and the agenda for prosperity and development. The UV came in and took a definite position and took a stance against those issues. So we do not have different platforms for what we see and what we have written in blueprints that has to do with the corporate agenda for prosperity and development. What we do is that we are the conscience of the institution, the Coalition for Democratic Change. We serve as the first line of defense of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Our responsibility is to tell the masses of our people, the young people, the older people, the motorcyclists, the marketeers, the farmers, the workers, the working class, that your government, our responsibility is to explain also about the democratic dividends, the achievements, how the achievements can be sustained, how the achievements can be used.
Is it what they're going to bring about the solutions the young people are yearning for?
So how do you define solution if you do not?
There are many young persons, like for some of the disadvantaged youth who talked to today, there are many young people think that the government has not done well for them.
So the government has been able to make some interventions in TVEC education, for example. Even at the level of the Coalition for Democratic Change, this is unprecedented. We have built the first vocational institution ever in the history of this country. No political party has that. Ideology has that mindset to view or to recruit people. Are we saying?
Is it on a free basis?
It's free. It's free of charge. Go to the party headquarters today.
Can I disprove what you're saying? You want us to play a video of one of the guys today who spoke to, and I took the responsibility.
So you gotta be at the level of the vocational institution, the Monatech institution.
Of course. In fact, he needed to pay 4,000.
He's a higher morph, a pay agent.
How will you say a pay
agent? I'm telling you, no, that guy he doesn't represent.
So you want me to bring him to you?
I am telling you that institution.
I'm telling you to you.
Segu,
you take the responsibility.
I am telling you that institution has been running free of charge. If people from other political parties, in fact, if you go over there, you don't have to be a citizen.
No, I'm not saying
only Liberians are qualified to benefit from the vocational education that's been provided at that
place.
The
reason why I ask you, Arvin, because we heard that institution will be for the citizens, opening doors to those of the people that can afford, so that they can go to technical institution to learn. But from a surprising point today, I listened to the young man. He said he went there, and then he was asked to pay 4,000 in total for registration whatsoever, and I took the responsibility.
So until you provide the evidence, right? Not just him. Anybody can put a microphone to somebody involved and say, but I can go collect one disadvantaged young man across the road there.
But that man says he's a sedition.
No. So now you're reducing the argument to being a sedition.
But the man is a sedition.
No, you're running away from your previous argument. He said the man. People asking for 4,000. That was it.
I didn't say so.
Asking for evidence. You're not retreating that the man's.
You want me to play?
I am not asking you about video here. I'm asking you about a prima facie. Provide a recording where an instructor at the vocational institution an instructor at the level of the vocational institution in a clear empirical video evidence that he requested money and displaying to the library people. That's what I'm saying. Anybody can put microphone to anybody's mouth and can accuse people. We live in a politically charged society like Liberia, where people can just go and try to malign and try to the repetition of people simply because of politics. But this is.
So you see that as one of the achievements of the CDC in terms of providing such with the power the Liberian people gave you. Is that just something to boast of?
So have we reached at the level of that conversation? Then we can catalog.
No, we're going to reach that because that's the reason I'm asking you.
I am telling you, you're talking about disadvantaged young people. One of the ways that we can ameliorate such problems confronting disadvantaged young people is to take some intervention and strategic steps. Okay. You should be applauding the CDC like we applauded you objectively.
So
right?
No.
I'm saying to you, you should first of all recognize that the CDC will not collect 70,000 to go and put people on the street to cause havoc and
We'll reach
chaos.
to other
No
one.
problem. The CDC has really found the politics of the country that look, the people that go to the party headquarters, for example, are young people. Let's establish that. Apart from the major government apparatus or status that are engaging into youth development, the TV, Ministry of Youth Exposure, and other stuff, the CDC as a political party has taken a giant step to make this intervention. And so we should applaud that. Even the young men you're talking about today, I challenge you, sir.
So I'm just
I'm
asking
challenging
you.
you. It's not part of that. It's not part of that vocational entity. I challenge you.
No, the man said, this is what the man said. And I'm asking you if I could play it. He said he went there. He's been involved in the drugs issue, but he has decided he let go all and he wants to go to vocational institution. And he went to the school there, the Monatech, institution. And he said they're asking for something around 4,000, which it has been difficult for him. And everything I told him that okay, I will help you in the process. So, and you say that free.
So what the man said was what you have established. Have you
So
established
I'm just saying, so it could be a contradiction of what you people are saying. You say it's free, but someone
have
went
you
there, it is not
established that
free.
the person you are talking to is even a student of the school? Have you established that the person you are talking to even made an attempt to do any form of registration in the school? You talk to a bartender by the street side who say, you talk to a bartender and say, you can show us the prima facie that my brother was saying.
But
you need the
won't get it
evidence.
I said, let me play the man.
No,
video,
you cannot play a video from the school campus. What did they say? They teach you having for the money. You can't play that kind of video.
You can do
Yeah,
that.
you cannot.
You can do that.
No, you're a journalist. I'm not a journalist.
No, but you
But
can
if
do that.
if you're claiming something of that kind of
I'm not claiming.
magnitude,
I'm not claiming.
if
But
the
I'm saying
student,
what he said.
if the student is claiming something of that kind of magnitude, that your job in the journalistic field to be able to draw the line, the delineate so clearly. You know, find the bridge connecting the institution. So what the guy said.
So you are a very brilliant journalist, and you have correspondence, you have networks all across,
and so
we expect you to take a microphone there. And
so
hold on.
Now you can take your microphone.
Take your
ministries.
You are far as your media barometer is as far as Guinea, Sierra Leone, and other countries. Little place, I mean, right here to the CDC, you're not able to go there as a team, and you rely on one man come on eating somewhere, eating kobo, and be paid by Zanokomi. To come run
your own partisan. Because the man say the truth.
That's a propaganda. Don't give it credence. Let's go to the
Okay, I like that. The people that are listening, they will tell you now what is the vision of the youth wing. The reason why I'm asking, some of the questions, we're moving towards elections. There are many young persons these days that think that in normal political statements or political issues won't take them to vote anyone. They want to know what you have.
So we have a responsibility to our party as a youth wing, and my brother clearly spelled that out. We are the gatekeepers. We watch over the party's ideology and want to see that what the government stands for and what the government preaches that she will implement must be implemented to the last letter. And we are the watchdogs to ensure that happens. We also watch over people who are following counterclockwise what the government wants to implement. If you follow our politics, we've brought our own people to the gallows.
When you say you brought your own people,
we brought our own government people to the gallows and question their workings in
when
government.
last did you do that?
My friend, if you follow our press conferences, we question ministers.
I'm just asking, when last did you do that?
We question ministers. We question
when last did you do that?
I can recount to you my last press conference.
Which one of the ministers?
The current maritime boss was questioned for activities in the media. And we don't need to be going backward and backward and backward. But I can tell you that as the watchdog of the CDC, that's our job to the party. What do we want to see of our country? We want to see a country where young people are taking the front stage. President Weah has been a champion in doing that. Champion women involvement. I work for the Ministry of Gender. We call him the feminist in chief. If you watch his cabinet, watch the way he promotes women across the country. Women activities, the president is at the forefront leading for women at the European Union, at the United Nations. This president continues to preach that women must play a central role in national development across the country. Now, coming to young people, this is unarguable. If you watch the development projects across the landscape of the country, from sports
to involvement in government and governance and politics.
You said from
I haven't witnessed myself.
You said from
From
sports.
sports.
From sports.
From sports.
You
So,
said sports.
sports.
You think there's government- You think
improvement in sporting infrastructures? You know.
Let me just ask you this question: with the level in which the president went in sporting activities, in all fairness, do you think what Liberia has continued to do is much sufficient to say that the president is supporting sporting issues in the country?
So let me take away this. What the president achieved in sports, he had to take. It took more than just the facilities presented to you. He had to take discipline. He had to take hard work.
You think
he had to take? You have to be disciplined. You have to be hardworking. You have to be respectful. You understand?
You think it
to
is
get to what president we are
players?
because
people involved in sports?
That's not my argument. This one you got to bring to the picture to develop yourself in sports. So I'm saying to you that unlike the time of President we are having improvements in infrastructure, sporting infrastructures in the country. But that's not just the issue. Are young people involved in government? They are.
Okay.
From different strata, different layers of development in society, young people now have a voice. We now have the very first female president of the Federation of Liberia ever in the history since the country was founded.
She's a sedition too?
Or you want sedition? Let's say we're not talking sedition.
We're
not talking party politics.
No, that party politics.
We don't talk party politics. The Federation of Liberia is the umbrella institution that represents, that is the emblem of the development of every single young person under this country. It was a chief. Look, it was a chief under while George was serving as president. And that is something this government must be proud of. We produced the first female president of the Federation of Liberia. Young people are challenging, most especially so women. Women are coming to the fore, they are competing. And young people are no more afraid to be directors. They are no more afraid to be ministers. Right across the table is having, we say, a very young man, brilliant, who has served with no criminal record in government. There are many of us who are thriving, who are doing better, who are taking the country to where you see it today. When you see road infrastructure across the country, when you see us fighting, making improvements in macroeconomic policies, when you see us stretching electricity to new counties, when you see us making development in education, when you see young people taking on the mantle. The last time, one of our colleagues who was in government with us, Anthony Dixon, taking the quizzing team of Liberia to Europe and stating us or strength contest beginning like brother coming to the third place. Young people are developing, young people are competing, and the president is championing this.
Okay, let's move to the real issue now. Then we're about to move in. We're just trying to set the basis and everything. Avin, let me come to you. Over the weekend, the youth chair in person of Emmanuel Johnson, he made some strong statements and some political pundits think you guys are using maybe your proximity and you want to abuse the little power you've got in terms of threatening officials of government, which you don't have any power of. To tell people, if you do this in government, we're going to do this. All lies in the purviews of the president. He has the appointing power and he has the means to also dismiss if he feels unsatisfied with people working in government. Why you people thought to make these kinds of strong threatening statements against people that you claim, quote unquote, might not be dancing all to the tune of you seditions?
Well, thank you, Sekou. The first thing we should realize and understand from the context of the Revolutionary National Youth League is not just, it's an autonomous body within the Coalition for Democratic Change. Autonomous in its robustness and decisive when it comes to making political decisions, and she takes responsibility. And let me reiterate the position of the chairman of the Youth League, Comrade Maya Johnson. We want to reappropriate and reconfirm this position in an emphatic tone that government officials, including us around this table in this conversation, and everywhere, at every line ministry and agency, that are involved into inside political trading, that are counter-revolutionary agents, that are doing business with opposition forces, dissident collaborators, trying to undermine the democratic gains, the political and strategic interventions that this government is making, our president is making. We do not need permission from President Weah to make a decisive political turnaround to bring these elements to order. So it's not about whether the youth league have a point in power. Don't forget, the president is a product of the youth league. Few years ago, in 2004 to 2017, there was a debate that President we were very young. That in order to be president, you must be an octogenarian, a person in the 80s. It took the responsibility of the young people. When others said you need PhD to run this country, to understand the suffering of the masses of our people, it took the decisive strike of the young people to take this propaganda and make substantial political debates and analysis of this. So on the back of the young people, President, we came to power in 2017. So the young people are not just people who are just wearing berets and wearing boots. They have responsibility to protect the revolution. That's what we're not going to bear. What we're saying to you before you ask the next question, that if you are opportune and privileged to be appointed in government, you should do that in the confines of the proper agenda for prosperity and development that represents the interest.
Do you know that
of the coalition for democratic
do you know that your statement or your actions could be infringing on the rights of other Liberians working in the government that will be maybe seditions? The Constitution gives everyone the right for association. And they could decide to associate with other political parties. Why you want to infringe on the rights of other Liberians working in the CDC government?
I do not disagree, but if you think that you have the rights, then you resign. Oh, if you have the right to disagree, if you have the right to go against the policy of the CDC, then you are in opposition. No, I come in. Hold on.
What is
hold on?
Let me ask you this.
Your question has a premise. Let me.
President wants to see the policies of the government and that of the CDC.
So in short, he listens to you.
In short, he listens.
He listens.
And so,
okay, so it means,
and let me say this in furtherance and Sekou. Sitting government, the government, now your backyard. You are privileged to serve your country. You're privileged to be among the 700,000 persons that voted for George Weah in the second round of elections that brought into the presidency. Do you know how many young people had the opportunity to go and vote? And you are the one being chosen. Me, I'm going to say this upright. I am the very first member of my family, to the best of my knowledge, to serve as chief of staff to any minister. So my responsibility is to see that the interest of the government, the policy of the government that came from the belly of the CDC is implemented to the fullest.
So I want to ask.
So let me tell you this.
Let me ask this question, please.
Yeah, come again.
Is it that?
Let me say this to you. The president listens to the youth very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
The president and the youth league have collaborated on so many instances that led to what has constituted into a vibrant and mature CDC today. And that's what makes the youth league very, very cognizant about its role and the role of its tenure bearer or the political leader. There is a clear line of delineation and there's a clear line of dichotomy that has been provided over a period of time, and we've been in pari pursuit working with the political leader of our party. We are not in other political institution where young people are not given opportunity. As soon you give your disposition on governance issue and you are fired, that the way they did in ANC, the CDC is a respected political democratic phenomenon that has introduced young people's.
But what you guys are saying will be misuse of power, though.
So I don't know. I just gave you. No. The Constitution, the Magna Carta of the CDC, is very unique. It's a unique institution. It gives young people the opportunity.
It gives the young people the opportunity.
City or go to a length that contravenes and contradicts the status and principle of the revolution, the account of revolutionary agents. What do you So if we talk about rigging elections,
Rigging election.
if you got to do a clear political analysis about the politics of the country, right? A trajectory. I don't have to be a rocket scientist to tell you, because the evidences, the facts with the people themselves. For example, see the construction of the Route International Highway. You're talking about the just a monumental state-of-the-art hospital that was built.
The Emirates Hospital.
The Emirates Hospital, right? In Bapudu, for example. You're talking about building of town hall and the road stretching from Menakama Highway, Banga to that of Lofa County, for example. You're looking at the Douala market. You're looking at the hospitals that have been built, the 14 medical hospital, right?
Real-time
development. If you see, and the stability of electricity in our country, you want to know why Labrador is gravitating towards industrialization in terms of road connectivity, in terms of electricity, right? And you see the inflation in our country now, macroeconomic from double digit now, it has stopped to single digit, right? Macroeconomic stability. Instructors are not taking pay on time. Civil servants are not taking pay on time. The issues about health workers are not taking pay on time. And so, if you look, do a fairer political appreciation of the national governance processes of our country, and you predict, Stegu, ask yourself, all the guys that are running, first of all, there is no government opposition institution that can face the CDC.
No way.
It is for marketability and infrastructure, political infrastructure. Look at the configuration of the opposition. First of all, where is the CPP?
You still have the CPP.
Where is the CPP?
Where is the CPP?
Mr. Cummings and other people are in the CPP.
I said, what is the so-called CPP of Joseph Newman Baka, Ure Cummings, and Delon Young people?
They did dismantle.
Yes, dismantle and disintegrated. Disfigured. I am telling you that even the opposition they are yet to organize vice president. They don't even have vice president. They don't even have vice presidential running mates.
The similar thing happened to your party when you were in 2017.
They don't even have.
You are moving towards elections before you got the vice.
They don't even have vice presidential. That's one. The next thing is
I'm making reference to what your party did to as well.
So the next thing is
so it's not unique to Unity Party.
My party organized a coalition. And the forces in the collaborative forces in the coalition did not complain about authoring and fingering framework document. They stayed and they formulated a political vehicle.
A complaint.
They formulated a political vehicle that catapulted the CDC towards the 2017 general presidential election, which became a veteran.
Your party is
that was the first coalition in Liberian political history.
Yeah.
So you ask a question, gentlemen. We just need to listen.
Yeah. But you ask a question, I want to zero on that quickly before you. I know you're trying to do some political games here, but let me say this to you. You ask a question why the youth league chairperson of the Coalition for Democratic Change said to you that President George Manuel Weah is going to win on the first round. And we said to you that the youth league, the potency of the youth league, are you aware that they are polls? A radio would disagree.
Listen, are
You,
you
I'm coming to a point where you can have the opportunity to disagree, and there's no political prisoner.
No political prisoner. Free
But
political
we are
space.
decriminalized free speech in our
any
country.
government should do.
Any government,
Not any government can do it.
Not any government.
Yes, shutting down radio stations.
Government shut down and beat people and place them
Beating
behind
journalists
bars.
in the street.
Not
They say
anybody.
any government.
You are
They
here,
have to take a government with serious political credentials. and
maximum
democratic
political will
credentials
to do that.
to do that.
So
So
you
you
are here
can
in this country here. Moreover, I mean, the chairman of our party now spoke on ills in this country, and you're in prison. But at the same time, there was a Tamakoji, young revolutionary ideologue, who is now the Secretary General of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Well, that's a rated in prison, beaten behind bar. Not anybody can open radio. Not anybody can disagree with the system. The system itself must be a respecter of the Constitution and provide an enabling environment for people to democratically air their opinions on issues that
You've
matter.
criticized the CPP. What is the current relationship with the CDC, the LPDP, and that of the NPP?
See, I can tell you that our relationship is formidable. We remain a coalition. Like in other,
do you still have a coalition?
We have a coalition in place.
You want to correct that?
And
there
are conversations ongoing for areas that we may have cracks. You're not following me. There are conversations ongoing for areas that we may have cracks. There are disagreements in the coalition, but we have not fallen. We're keeping ourselves together.
Do we still have coalition?
We're keeping ourselves together, knowing where we have errors, knowing where changes need to be made, and we are reviewing the very previous documents that we signed to make us a coalition. And by the time we are fetched out where we have cracks and settle these cracks, we sharpen our arsenal, we face 2023 and proceed. That's the process.
Do we still have a coalition? That question you
answer.
The
LPDP, the CDC, and the NPP remains in a political marriage. We remain in a political marriage. You can find your terminology, but where we have cracks, where we have issues within the coalition, where we have cracks, we are on the table, we're settling these cracks. And let me tell you, NPP, CDC, and the LPDP will be a single team leading to 2023. You can be assured of that.
Is it true that the coalition document has expired?
So, at the highest level, at the highest level of our political parties, conversations are ongoing. That's the best I can say to you. Conversations are ongoing.
You talk about
conversations are ongoing. Those conversations take place at the higher level of our party, and all we can say is that, and I said to you previously, we are having some issues on the coalition, but these issues are on the route to being settled. And by the time we get to 2023,
is there a coalition?
In running between,
of course, there is a coalition. You want to tell me
there's a coalition? Forget about the
no. You bring one paper.
I want to show you your own agreement.
Forget about
the coalition.
Listen, you don't show me the agreement. I have access to the agreement. Not only that,
be honest to the Liberian people.
here with all of the, the collaborating political parties in a coalition. But
beyond that document in your hands, beyond that document in your hand, there is more. There is more.
This is one of the areas in the document that the LPDP and the NPP.
There's no perfect coalition.
Let me say this.
There will be issues.
So you feel satisfied to say that your coalition has not been doing well? It is not.
No.
But you said there's
I come in.
Let me read this portion. You're in the way, right?
Yeah.
Under Article 5, they said terms and conditions of the coalition. Then you come to the governing council. It says the governing council shall be the highest decision-making organ, which shall have the responsibility and authority to formulate and adopt policies. The governing council shall be comprised of A, the standard bearer and vice standard bearer of the coalition, B, political leaders of each constituent political party, national chairperson of each member political party, the secretary general of each political party, and 3 eminent persons each from member parties. And I'm told since the government took over, the governing council has not been in function. When last did the governing council go for meeting and decisions were made from the governing council of the coalition?
So Seku, just before you went to do your
answer
research,
that one first.
Seku, we're not pushing buttons here. You're speaking to human beings.
Yes.
You know what I mean, Seku, you're not pushing buttons.
You won't lead that all over there.
You can just push buttons.
Yeah.
No. So here's it.
Yeah.
Just before you went to do your research.
What kind of research?
When you want to use your phone and find a document.
My man, the phone ready.
Yes,
I go use my phone.
Yes, Seku. We told you this is everything in the coalition has not been perfect. Like right at your radio station, you have your own imperfections.
No.
We've had
righteous.
You righteous? Everything have been perfect. No. So let me tell you something.